It has truly just been one of those weeks. Alex Hermosi, he put up a thread recently that I could not relate more to. It says, entrepreneurship in a nutshell. 40% of the time you feel like you're sucking compared to everybody else. 40% of the time you eat and it's all your fault. 18% of the time you feel lost, and 2% of the time you win. No thread, I think, has ever spoken to me more than that specific thread. And I think that truly does embody what being an entrepreneur and running your own business is. And I know I don't have a huge following on YouTube, but my goal of my channel has always been to be as transparent and real, showing not only the good sides, but also the not good side of business. And unfortunately, I think social media, we just like to show our good days and our great days because those are the ones that get views. People want to see the day that you hit $100,000 in sales, or you made $100,000 in profit over a certain amount of time. Don't get me wrong, I know I've posted those videos, but I also want to show this side of being an entrepreneur and how there are days and weeks like this sometimes where you're sitting down and just racking your brain trying to figure out how to turn your ship around and figure it out with no manual, with really no other coworkers to bounce ideas off of. A lot of times when there's an issue, it's just you sitting down and trying to problem solve as best as you can and making some decisions and hoping and praying for the best. So in this video, I'm going to go over this past week and what's been going on in the business and sharing my thought process with reading what we've been seeing and moving forward. If you're new to my channel, my name is Meg Heckman. I have been an entrepreneur for now 4 years, specifically in the print on demand space. I recently started a brand new Shopify store in July of 2023 with 0 sales, and currently have scaled up the operation to $884,892.54 in sales. We do roughly a 15 to 20% profit margin. The store has been doing really well, but recently in this last week, our ads took an absolute turn for the worst. So without further ado, let's get into it and dive into what's been going on. So a little backstory, we get all of our traffic to our store through Facebook advertising. We believe that it's the easiest way for us to drive traffic, better for us than organic. We don't need to be posting all the time. And ads can get a really bad rap. There's definitely videos out there where people say they've been burned by Facebook so many times that they're not going to go that route. And this week is one of those weeks where Facebook is not my friend. So yeah, we'll pull up the ad manager and just kind of take a look at everything. We first noticed kind of a change in the first week of March. So March 1st through March 8th, we were running pretty solid. We were a 2.6 overall ROAS, so return on ad spend. We always like to be above 2.0. That for us is profitable. So 2.6, looking pretty good. Now our cost per action here with the cost per click is roughly 58 cents. This is normal for us. Usually around January and in Q1, you do have a little bit cheaper cost per clicks because you are competing against less companies than you were during Q4 with Black Friday and the holiday season. So you do tend to see that cost per click go down, but our average recently has been around 58 to even like 65 cents. So a little bit on the more expensive side, but that's been normal for us. So like that's kind of our baseline. So, you know, the first week of March, everything seemed to be running really smoothly, especially on March 8th. March 8th, we ran at a 3.18 ROAS. So we were getting so many sales compared to what we were spending on ads. We ran great that day. We were like, wow, we are cruising. Everything is just like moving along. Cost per click was 51 cents. You know, you can't really complain about that, which we weren't. We were really happy and ecstatic. But on March 9th, it just took a complete turn. So as you can see, our ROAS, we were a 3.18 to then a 1.89. So that's a big difference. We didn't change any ads. They're the same ads that were running the day prior. So how was it the day prior we were running at a 3.18 and then the following day is a 1.89? It just didn't really make sense. And at first we weren't too concerned about it, but Chris, my husband, did notice that our cost per click dropped significantly to 35 cents. So our average has been 50, 60 cents per click all the way down to 35. So just was odd. And so that kind of like put him on high alert. He's like, okay, if we're getting cheaper cost per click, that means they're sending us traffic that isn't going to convert. So he was like, it's kind of seems like Facebook is sending us more engagement type of customers than people who would actually purchase from the site. So we kind of watched. We weren't like too concerned. We were like, oh, like, we'll have days where it'll go down and then the next day it picks up and it should all be fine. But it never picked back up. So now this past week, our average has been a 1.59. So just complete crap. We're not profitable. We've been losing money this whole week, which is, never fun. And our average cost per click is 29 cents. So that means all this week we've just been getting sent crap traffic, just traffic that was never going to convert, traffic that we were paying for nothing. Literally, we were just paying to pretty much lose money. So yeah, like that's just how this week's been. So I reached out to Facebook, set up a call with a Facebook Pro market pro person. It wasn't a great call. I feel like they just don't give you people who actually understand what's happening on like the back end of the ads manager. She's saying that we should increase our budget. I'm like, why would I increase the budget if we are not running profitably? That is just like suicide. Like, yes, let me spend more money to not make money. We listened to her. We're supposed to have another call at some point, but she could not give us a definite of like, oh yeah, I can see that this happened at this time. Like Chris narrowed it down to the exact hour that the switch happened with the ad account. It literally happened on, I think he found it at like March 8th at 5 p.m. or no, March 9th, like at 5 p.m., something odd. He literally found the actual hour where something happened and they couldn't even find that or pinpoint what happened. It was just weird. And they're like, are you sure you didn't change anything? He's like, no, all I've been doing is bumping budgets like every couple of days. That's how we've been running this ad account. It's been very, very minimal. And they just couldn't even really give us an answer. So from there, it was kind of like, okay, well, what are we going to do? So we started pulling back on the budget. Over this whole week, we've just been pulling back, just kind of watching and seeing, Meta, she was saying, oh, well, it may be because you're pulling the budget back that it's not having like enough information for us to like send the right people to it because the budget's so low. And I'm like, we're not running like a $5 budget. Our campaigns are fine. We're still spending over $1,000 a day on Facebook. There's plenty to go off of. And it just makes no sense that on one day you really nailed the traffic and then this past week, crickets. Sales are down. Overall, it's not a good time. So yeah, we've just been cutting back on the budget. I looked into different Reddit accounts. I was looking on Twitter, trying to figure out like, are other people having this problem? And it does seem to be other people had the exact same thing on like March 8th, March 9th. Like what the heck happened to my ad account? I guess it's slightly comforting knowing that other people are having the same issue with the ad accounts. Like, I don't know if Facebook's just running some weird kind of split test on the back end and just saying we'll randomly pick some accounts to screw with for a little bit. I'm not sure really what's going on, but we've decided that we're just going to kind of sit tight and watch how the ad account is doing and coming back. We made a few new ads today and now we're running at a 2.0 on. So definitely an improvement. Cost per click is still slightly lower than where our average would be, but I think we're slowly trending in the right direction. So I'm hoping that this continues and we move past this. It was just a little blip in the game, but I did want to come on and I wanted to share this. Really nice when you're looking at your P&L and it's $300 a day, $700, $1,600. You're like, yeah, I am cruising to being in the negative. It's not a good time. On the 8th, we made $985.42. Like we ran at a 3.18 on, like we were cruising. We made really good money that day. To the following day, we were still like, okay, $200 profit. Following day, $380 profit. And then that's when like all the numbers kind of caught up to the books. March 11th, negative $500. March 12th, negative $492. March 13th, negative $71. March 14th, negative $255. So over the course of 4 days, we lost $1,300. And I don't think there's a lot of people who are out there that are going to be this transparent and show you their actual books. People want it to seem like the business is booming, everything is great and sunshine and daisies. And yeah, over the last 8 months of running this store, it really has been kind of sunflowers and daisies and rainbows. We haven't had that many big issues come up over the first 8 months of running this. But I think when you do hit a wall, like Chris and I, we definitely hit a wall this week. We were both on edge, both frustrated, trying to figure out what should we do? What's the best option? Should we just cut everything? Do we need to start looking at our expenses and start cutting expenses? Like, where are we at? It kind of just like you go into almost like a panic mode, like a fight or flight kind of state of, okay, what should I be doing with my business? But yeah, I wanted to come on here and I wanted to show you that, yes, my business has been very profitable over this 8 months. There are definitely days where we're negative. For the most part, we're positive though. But this past week in particular was just pretty rough, especially because it felt like something that it is out of our control. Who Facebook ads algorithm is sending to us, like that's out of our control for the most part. So we're just keeping an eye on it at this point. We're gonna keep the budget. We've scaled it back all this week. We're gonna keep it where it is and just watch and see. We wanna make sure that we're having consistent analytics prior to us really starting to bump the budget again and push it. So we'll see what happens, but I did want to come on and just be completely transparent with everybody who is out there looking to getting into this type of business. You're going to have days where it's really hard and you're making tough decisions, and you're probably faced with the decision of, should I even continue running this? Should I even continue doing this? There's probably a lot of people, if they saw this past week, they just give up. And this is your message to continue pushing through. Keep trying. Unless you cannot turn them around, keep trying. I'm sure Jeff Bezos had days like today. I'm sure Elon Musk had days like today where they just feel down about their business and about just being an entrepreneur in general and the uncertainty of it. I do think that this journey has taught me so much, and I'm so proud that I have pushed through it. And I just want to tell other people that you can get through hard things. You can figure out whatever problem is currently happening in your business that you're running. So hang in there and just keep trying. Comment below and let me know if you've ever had a week like this, or if you're in a situation like this currently at the moment, or if your Facebook ads are all wonky like ours. Love to know and hear from you. And if you haven't joined the free school community, I've linked it in the description below. It's a great place to network and meet other people who are starting out in print on demand and e-commerce, and people who've already been running e-commerce stores. It's a really cool community. I definitely encourage you to join. It's completely free. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And please turn on notifications. That way, when I put out really fun videos like this, you get notified. Thanks.